Peace, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Grown Man Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Laif Nuruddin, and thank you. Thank you for the continued support, for the continued love, because as I'm sticking in this arena of transition and discussing what my transition is like in real time, the thought that came to me a little earlier just has been, at a muted tone in the back of my brain somewhere. And this morning it came out so loud that in my journey, I have always had great intentions, but building the muscle to be more intentional is what I'm doing in real time. Being more intentional to show up with the good intentions I'm showing up with the optimistic intentions that I'm showing up with the intentions to grow and absorb and not just use this existence for, whatever, because it doesn't really matter, or not to really give it any thought. And man, it was so loud and clear. It's like, no, I've always been a good intention individual. I've always been a good intention person, right? But the intentionality behind it hasn't always been there, right? I think about it, the feeling, I wanted to do good, but then when I'm in it, it just kind of, and I recognize with the podcast, it's really that. It was a great intention, and now building the muscle to be more intentional about it has, it's given itself the most clear evidence in my life personally. I'm enjoying what that feels like to be present enough to know that I'm also a witness. I'm not just experiencing it, and I'm not just cultivating to bring it forth, but I'm actually seeing in real time what that feels like. And it's dope. It's dope. I'm learning in real time that it doesn't matter who's watching, because it's not for anybody specifically, but it is to anybody who it resonates with. And remembering the difference, or focusing on the difference, has been like it's been opening my eyes a lot wider. It's the theory of the observed particle, and the observed particle is doing whatever it's doing until it's being watched, and then it is aware that it's being watched, and it changes up its movement. And tying the two things together, for a big part of my life, there's never been a separation. There's always been one. Whatever I'm doing it because people are watching, right? My manners, how I show up in a room, the amount of intelligence I have, a lot of it has been based off of the rooms I want to get into, the people I want to get around, the things that I want to acquire, the lifestyle that I'm working toward living. Thinking about it from that perspective, I couldn't always separate meaning from value, or like I said, existing without without the influence of whatever whoever is observing whatever it is I'm doing. And I'm working this out in real time, obviously, because it's fascinating. It's fascinating to think like, yo, this life that I'm living is very is malleable. It doesn't have to be fixed in all of these places in my mind that I feel like life is supposed to just be fixed, right? When I wake up every day, I should be able to boop, 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 boop. But it's not always the case. And although I'm preparing for my lifestyle to have more days of exactly what I want in it, getting through this stage of it to get there, I don't have it. So I can choose the road of, because I don't have it now, that somehow I'm not worthy of it, or I can recognize that no, this is necessary for that to occur. So, rambling aside, notes before I get too far down the rabbit hole. And thank you for indulging me. Every episode has been a self-discovery. Every episode has been a self-discovery, and a discovery that I'm uncovering on a weekly, daily basis is like, I can't unsee it. Like, I really can't unsee it. So, take possession of your mind. And this has been also another, like, if this was a car, if transitioning is a car for me right now. Transition is a car, and all the tires are made up of the things necessary to travel at whatever distance I need to travel. The one tire is mindset. The other tire is willingness and ability. The third tire is the emotional capacity that I'm consistently experiencing on the way to wherever, right? And then the last wheel is fulfillment. Does all of this stuff that I'm doing, does it lend itself to feeling like all of my purpose and vision and blah 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 and special sauce and whatever, does it mean anything to me? And does that meaning provide what I needed to provide? And this tire of mindset is it's on the front line. It's on the front line of what I'm building. And as much as I have not given it intentional thought and intentional practice, my intention to eventually get to this place has always been underlined. Eventually, I'm going to become the person that I'm going to become. And getting caught up in, am I there yet? 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 Is not the point. The point is, like, am I doing what is necessary to get there? And I'm glad that through this process, I am thinking above what I'm intending to do. I'm If that really is it, then what am I doing to support it? So, take possession of your mind. What does it mean to take full possession of your mind? And I have 4 questions that I'm asking. What does it mean to take full possession of your mind? What does it mean to take full possession of my mind is not necessarily to block out all of the outside and, I got to be so vigilant and so tight-fisted that, every waking second of every day I'm doing that, how to push outside. It's knowing that outside is there and outside's sole mission is to expand, right? Just like inside, sole mission is to expand. I can't be mad at outside for wanting to do what outside does no more than I should be accepting that I can be upset that the outside don't recognize the inside that want to take up more space too. What's the point? I know that they're both truths. Outside is a truth, inside is a truth. I can't expect the world to know or to move around with the beat of the drum that I have in my head. I can't expect that. What I can expect is that the more locked in that I get into expanding the inner, I don't have to interfere with the outside because it's going to be it. I'm not taking more space from outside. The capacity is just what it is. I have enough inward that needs some fine tuning and some, more intentional thought, that by the time the space I need to take up more of, outside to be ready, bro, we've been expecting you to kind of grow a little bit. So, as long as it's in harmony, why does it matter? As long as my inner growth is in harmony with the outside, why does it matter? So, what does it mean to take full possession of my mind is, in a long, drawn-out way, knowing my place isn't to govern every other place. I only have the capacity to govern this place. My heart, my soul, my mind, my body. Make sure to make this. Because I recorded the episode last week and the whole mic was upside down. Wildin'. Right? So I'll use that as an example. Last week was the first time this mobile setup that I'm working on, right? That I'm fine tuning. I'm confident in my ability to make sure that it functions the way it needs to function. Like everything is doing exactly what everything needs to do. And I still have checks and balances that I'm not checking and balancing. I'm figuring this shit out in real time, right? How to have a complete, full 6K, 4K dynamic audio experience in a box. And it's 98% there. I'm able to set up my cameras, my lights, my equipment, my little accoutrements. I'm able to do that. So because I'm able and confident that I know what I'm doing, when I make a mistake or a misstep in this space, it's still catches me off guard, but it doesn't shake my whole shit up. Oh my God, how could you make this mistake? How did you not see this? How did you, right? That whole episode is an hour worth of just garbled audio because the mic is facing my shirt essentially for the whole episode. Um, but not getting down on myself about it and not treating it like it invalidates the effort. It or it validates the intention. No, the intention was to set up, to build a mobile setup that I could set up anywhere, right? And there's gonna be kinks along the way. There's gonna be things that I would have to add, and this is sensibly speaking, that I will have to add to it in order to make it more of what I want it to be. And expecting it to be exactly what I want it to be right now is not 100% realistic, but it's also a waste of energy for a whole lot of reasons. The main reason is the energy that I can put into tweaking it. Now I'm using that energy to bash myself and defame myself and treat myself like, oh, I'm just this bad person victim, right? And had I not been doing a lot of the stuff that I've been doing to just relax my nervous system through it, right? I'd probably be out of sorts. I didn't put out the episode. I intended on putting out an episode, but it sucked. And the intention is to not just put it out to put it out, but to put it out and put out good quality, right? The video could be out of focus. It could be off. The color could be whatever. But the audio, that's just a hard line for me, that I would like for the audio to just stay consistently good. So whether you could see it or not, you could hear it and feel my intention through the speakers, through your headphones, through your earbuds, whatever you be listening to, right? So I'm glad that little interruption from the outside ain't hurt nobody. I'm glad that I'm getting out of that space of feeling some type of way that somebody could feel some type of way. I've been a slave to it for a long time. And I talk about it in a lot of episodes in a lot of different ways, but this is the transition. This is the shift that I'm making that I pay attention to the most, that I'm deciding to be the most intentional with, that I'm not allowing it to just be left up to chance to do it. Why not? Why not put in the effort and the time and the energy to make it what I want? Second question, because I can talk about that forever. A lot of shit that possessed my mind was negative and no good, and it didn't help me, and I wasn't growing, and I always felt little. What's possessing my mind now is that none of that shit was real and none of that shit mattered. And at the end of the day, I can make whatever choice that I want to make that I feel like is aligned for what I want to do, who I am being, not who I'm going to be one day, but who am I being right now that says I'm doing what is necessary, right? So I'm glad to not have my mind possessed by bullshit and noise. Second question. How do emotions and instincts impact mental control? My emotion and instinct aren't always aligned, and I think recognizing the fact that they aren't always aligned that's been the change that I've needed to see, that it's all duality. It's all two things at the same time, right? And getting more in control or accepting of how my emotions move, taking the meaning away from them in terms of like, well, it has to mean this because this is what I feel. Um, which is not really the case. I can feel whatever way I want to feel, but that don't necessarily mean that what I feel is right or true. It's just what I feel. So allowing that knee-jerk reaction to be it, and knowing like, yo, the knee-jerk reaction is coming. Don't be alarmed when it does, because when it does, that's just the response, right? But that's not the end all be all. It's not the end all be all. And I like that. I like the fact that I can recognize instinctively what my emotions are doing and emotionally leave space for my instincts to do what they do. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be a gang war between instinct and emotion. It don't have to be. The whole point is the balance. The whole point is the harmony. That's the whole point for me right now. It's the harmony. So if I'm purely doing it off of instinct, then every time I have an emotional reaction to something, my instinct is going to immediately chalk it up to something that it's not, and vice versa. I'm all emotional and I feel, and when my instincts be like, hold up, time to check in. But then my emotions is making my instinct the culprit or the enemy, bruh. I'll keep spinning my tail the way I was spinning my tail, and I don't want to do that. Not at this point. Not that now I have seen the fact that, right? I need the little bouncing ball over my words or whatever. Now that I see it that way, how am I looking at everything through that same lens? How I treat my family, how I treat myself, how I treat my responsibilities, how I treat everything in my life. Am I also giving it the space to have two lanes, right? Up and a down, in and out, left and a right, whatever opposites they are, having both of those present and not feeling like one shouldn't be there versus the other. One doesn't matter more than the other. One doesn't have information that I could use than the other. My emotions is giving me information. My instincts are giving me information. And I'll be best served by taking the information from both of them and being like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me. So, yeah. How can you strengthen your mental discipline? How can I strengthen my mental discipline? How can I strengthen my mental discipline? The way I've been doing it, leaving space. And the more space I leave, the less when something pull quite a little bit further than I was expecting it, I'm not just out of sorts. Oh my God, how good, right? So more of it, more of accounting for life. And the more that I can account for life, doing what life does, the less invalid all of it feels to experience, the less unappreciated I feel, or the less weird I feel. Like the the more strength that my mental capacity holds, the better equipped I am for when I have to lift it. I'll just say it that way. Stakes, possession of your mind. That's not it. Number 4. What are the benefits of having control over your thoughts and emotions? I touched on it, and I'll just bring it home like this. The benefit, I can only speak for the benefit to myself. So all of these questions are questions that I'm asking myself, but I'm presenting them to other people who may be in the same space. Somebody who's struggling with being able to tap in on a regular basis and not feel shame or guilt as a result. To not feel like whatever it is I'm building, whatever it is I'm doing, is somehow gonna offend somebody or gonna set somebody off, or we are the observed particle. And I could either change up how and what I'm doing because who's watching, or I could continue on the path that I'm on, and whoever's watching is watching. Whoever is observing, and their observance doesn't make me want to any more than what it is right now, recording this in real time. I'm in a room by myself. There's no influence that is happening outside of this other than the cameras and the machines that I have around me. And if there were people here, would I change? No. I would engage in a different way because now I have other people that I can have dialogue with. And I like that. I like that I get to be a closeted creative. I like the fact that when it comes to what I'm building, I can till the soil the way I need to before I even start planting the seeds for whatever to grow out of it. So when I do invite people to the garden, I know for a fact that whatever they pick out the garden, it's going to be good. Because I done put love and energy into where that thing grew, right? This podcast is growing out of love. Not necessarily my love for the world, more than it is the love that I'm building for myself, that I'm recognizing in myself, that I'm experiencing it in myself, that I'm like, man, when I look out into the world, I see a lot of the same movements. I see it. I see the people who are not enjoying this experience called life. I see it. I hear it. I talk to people, right? And if I'm discovering it for myself, why can't I just share that? Like, yo, I found a way to be happy. I found a way to be joyful. I found a way to cope with sadness in a way that I'm proud of. And if I could do it, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it, right? And is it a guarantee? No, but we all have our own version of whatever that is. And because we have our own version of it, we get to pick, we get to choose, we get to choose what we do with what we experience. We get to choose that. And I don't know, it's just empowering to know that. It's empowering to feel like, yo, this shit is not 100% written in stone. You know, there's some hard truths, but there's a lot of bendable ones too. So the benefit of having control over my thoughts and my emotions is just being secure on this path that no matter what I choose, no matter where I choose, I'm choosing to match my intention and how I execute on that intention. So, um, yeah, this is this has been interesting, setting it all up and sharing. Um, I do have some time obligations to do some other stuff, and I just wanted to tap in. You know, of course, I'm being so honest right now. What I struggle with is giving advice based off of where I'm at, because I don't want to come off as, I got my shit together. I don't. I'm getting my shit together. I've got my shit together way more than my shit was. My shit was not together at all. Like a 500-piece puzzle box that got cracked open and just spread over the floor. That's how not put together I was. And I would say maybe the border and a couple sections have been put together, but I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a puzzle in the making of being pieced together, period. So take it with a grain of salt, what I'm about to say. Tips, I know. These are things that I'm doing, right? These aren't just these blanketed suggestions that just don't work. Or, according to a certain general, blah, blah, blah. No, according to what I've been doing in my own life, and then also hearing how other people who have adopted this way of thinking or way of doing things or this perspective, how it benefits their life, I I think it might be able to benefit whoever else listening to this, right? Practice mindfulness and increase mental clarity. And I can say for myself, yes, being more mindful has opened up an avenue, a space that, hold on, this is my son calling. Junior,
Yeah, I'm downstairs, fine.
down,
Oh, I'm here.
North Lobby.
Well, yeah, I can come downstairs.
I'm on the first floor in the retail space. I'm actually wrapping up the episode now.
All right.
All right. Okay, so um, I'll get back to it. Yeah, practicing mindfulness to increase mental clarity. Staying in the present keeps me in the present, keeps me from going 30 years in the future, and it keeps me from being stuck in the past. It keeps me in a space where I can think and move and do and not overthink and not move and not do. Tip number 2, develop a strong sense of emotional intelligence to manage my reactions. Yes, just because I feel the way I feel doesn't mean that it's other people's space to to like they don't have to shoulder the same burden. Just because I feel the way I feel don't mean that you got to feel the same way that I feel. It's not realistic at all. And just because nobody don't feel the way that I feel in the moments that I feel the way that I feel, why should I make it mean anything other than what it naturally is? My emotions are mine. My feelings are mine. And whether they're valid or invalid, validated or invalidated, it's not anybody else's job to do anything with my emotions but me. So if that is what I'm doing, then that's what I'm doing. Yo,
Uh,
yeah.
can you open the door for me? Nobody at the front.
Oh, Elijah not there? You don't have your badge?
Nah, I fucking forgot to bring it.
Come on, man. All right, I'm on my way.
All right.
So, right? Just because I feel the way I feel about it doesn't mean that he got to feel the way I feel about it. And that's just what it is. Last tip, right? Create routines that reinforce self-control over habits and impulses. Here's what I'm doing in real time that's been a game changer. Doing push-ups every day. I set out a goal because I probably said the story on here, trying to ego do push-ups. I injured my shoulder. Because I injured my shoulder, I stopped doing push-ups. I stopped doing this one exercise that I know has real results. So I got a push-up board, and since I've gotten a push-up board, I haven't had any pain. I've been in perfect form where now it's starting to be effective. Doing the push-ups every day has been the routine that, by adopting it, now I'm looking at how to make a routine out of everything else that I'm doing in my life, which has been a game changer. Doing push-ups every day and then increasing the amount of push-ups that I do by 10 every week has been a game changer. Because now it doesn't matter what day is happening, I'm doing push-ups. That's just what it is. I want to build my physique a certain way. I want to build my strength a certain way. And why not do it in the most natural, I don't have to go nowhere way to do it, right? So the exercise of like impulse and the habit is, no matter how I feel, push-ups is getting done. No matter what I'm doing, push-ups is getting done. No matter what time of day, if I know I'm gonna be busy, push-ups is getting done, because that's just the rhythm of what I'm on right now. And if I can't do nothing else on a daily basis outside of wash my ass, brush my teeth, get dressed and undress, doing push-ups is going to be it, because the effect is showing itself in real time. The effect is present on a daily basis, and I gotta say, I feel stronger. I do. I feel like I'm doing something that's moving the needle in real time for me and myself, right? It's not for other people. It's not to be like, oh man, you know, now that I'm me, check it out. No, it's, bro, I'm 46. And if I don't do my best to live a healthy life, ain't nobody gonna live it for me. So with that said, this has been another episode of the Grown Man Shift podcast. This is the transition series. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, rambling hell and high water. And don't forget to hit the email, grownmanshift@gmail.com. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Peace.